If you open your hand, you may receive everything. If you do not get it from yourself, where will you go for it? If you are unable to find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? Truth is not far away. It is nearer than near. There is no need to attain it, since not one of your steps leads away from it. Cease from practice based on intellectual understanding, pursuing words, and following after speech. Those who seek the easy way do not seek the true way. Do not think you will necessarily be aware of your own enlightenment. Do not practice Buddha Dharma with the thought that it is to benefit others. If you think you can become enlightened just by worshiping images and relics, this is a mistaken view. It is wrong to cling to what you should not believe in, or to fail to ask about a truth you should seek. Why abandon a seat in your own home to wander in vain through dusty regions of another land? If you make one false step, you miss what is right before your eyes. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time swiftly passes by and opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken. Take heed. Do not squander your life. Do not travel to other dusty lands, forsaking your own sitting place. If you cannot find the truth where you are now, you will never find it. Listen to the voice within yourself. Forgetting oneself is opening oneself. When you let go, the Dharma fills your hands. If we seek the Buddha outside the mind, the Buddha changes into a devil. If you want to see things just as they are, then you yourself must practice just as you are. To start from the self and try to understand all things is delusion. To let the self be awakened by all things is enlightenment. Every man possesses the Buddha nature. Do not demean yourselves. People who truly follow the way would do well to conceal the fact that they are Buddhists. Yet you must not cling to the words of the old sages either. They too may not be right. Even if you believe them, you should be alert so that, in the event that something superior comes along, you may follow that. You should stop searching for phrases and chasing after words. Take the backward step and turn the light inward. Your body-mind of itself will drop off and your original face will appear. If you want to attain just this, immediately practice just this. Students of the Way must not study Buddhism for the sake of themselves. They must study Buddhism only for the sake of Buddhism. The key to this is to renounce both body and mind without holding anything back and to offer them to the great sea of Buddhism. The time of our delusion does not obstruct the time of our realization. Our practice is not in order to attain realization. Practice itself is the actualization of realization. What is the way of the Buddha? It is to study the self. What is the study of the self? It is to forget oneself. To forget oneself is to be enlightened by everything in the world. Enlightenment is intimacy with all things. Practice and enlightenment are one. Just sit zazen and see things as they are. Zazen is an activity that is an extension of the universe. Zazen is not the life of an individual. It's the universe that's breathing. In the mundane, nothing is sacred. In sacredness, nothing is mundane. The whole moon and the entire sky are reflected in one dewdrop on the grass. Nothing in the entire universe is hidden. Sitting is the gateway of truth to total liberation. When both body and mind are at peace, all things appear as they are, perfect, complete, lacking nothing. The time of our delusion does not obstruct the time of our realization. Our practice is not in order to attain realization. Practice itself is the actualization of realization. Mountains and oceans have whole worlds of innumerable wondrous features. We should understand that it is not only our distant surroundings that are like this, but even what is right here, even a single drop of water. Meditation is not a way to enlightenment, nor is it a method of achieving anything at all. It is peace itself. It is the actualization of wisdom, the ultimate truth of the oneness of all things. There are mountains hidden in mountains. There are mountains hidden in hiddenness. This is complete understanding. Handle even a single leaf of green in such a way that it manifests the body of the Buddha. This in turn allows the Buddha to manifest through the leaf. The sound of running water is Buddha's great speech. At the moment of giving birth to a child, is the mother separate from the child? You should study not only that you become a mother when your child is born, but also that you become a child. When we discover that the truth is already in us, we are all at once our original selves. One must be deeply aware of the impermanence of the world. A flower falls even though we love it, and a weed grows even though we do not love it. Your body is like a dewdrop on the morning grass. Your life is as brief as a flash of lightning. Momentary and vain, it is lost in a moment. The recognition of the coming and going of things is a first step in training and practice. What is reality? An icicle forming in fire. Consider that nirvana is itself no other than our life. Coming, going, the water birds don't leave a trace, don't follow a path. Emptiness is bound to bloom, like hundreds of grasses blossoming. The recognition of the coming and going of things is a first step in training and practice. A flower falls even though we love it, and a weed grows even though we do not love it. Swim as they may, fish find no end to the sea. Fly as they may, birds find no end to the sky. This dew-like life will fade away. Avoid involvement in superfluous things. Beings, things, and events do not exist in time. Being, things, and events are times. The coming and going of birth and death is a painting. Unsurpassed enlightenment is a painting. The entire phenomenal universe and the empty sky are nothing but a painting. If we look at the world with a deluded body and mind, we will think that our self is permanent. But if we practice correctly and return to our true self, we will realize that nothing is permanent. When one first seeks the truth, one separates oneself from it. An ancient Buddha said, "Mountains are mountains. Waters are waters." This simple saying contains the ultimate truth. Clearly I know the mind is mountains, rivers, and the great earth, sun, moon, and stars. Though it has no thought of keeping watch, it's not for naught that the scarecrow stands in the grain field. There are myriads of forms and hundreds of grasses throughout the entire earth, yet each grass and each form itself is the entire earth. That you carry yourself forward and experience the myriad things is delusion. That the myriad things come forward and experience themselves is awakening. An ancient Buddha said, "Mountains are mountains. Waters are waters. These words do not mean mountains are mountains. They mean mountains are mountains." When the old plum tree blooms, the entire world blooms. The color of the mountains is Buddha's body. The sound of running water is his great speech. All that's visible springs from causes intimate to you. While walking, sitting, lying down, the body itself is complete truth. If someone asks the inner meaning of this, inside the treasury of Dharma I, a single grain of dust. Do not doubt that mountains walk simply because they may not appear to walk like humans. That place where sentient beings take their delight and play has continually existed as the Buddha's pure land, which can never be destroyed. We must meticulously make this our fundamental practice. You should understand that birth and death is itself nirvana. Nirvana is not realized outside of birth and death. Delusions mean our individuality, our limitations as individuals and also egocentricity. We cannot see the universe from the viewpoints of other people. We can see things only from my point of view. Continuous practice day after day is the most appropriate way of expressing gratitude. Just practice good, do good for others, without thinking of making yourself known, so that you may gain reward. Really bring benefit to others, gaining nothing for yourself. This is the primary requisite for breaking free of attachments to the self. Students, when you want to say something, think about it 3 times before you say it. Speak only if your words will benefit yourselves and others. Do not speak if it brings no benefit. Prefer to be defeated in the presence of the wise than to excel among fools. If you want to travel the way of Buddhas and Zen masters, then expect nothing, seek nothing, and grasp nothing. To be in harmony with the wholeness of things is not to have anxiety over imperfections. Do not follow the ideas of others, but learn to listen to the voice within yourself. Your body and mind will become clear, and you will realize the unity of all things. Understand clearly that when a great need appears, a great use appears also. When there is small need, there is small use. It is obvious, then, that full use is made of all things at all times according to the necessity thereof. Those who practice know whether realization is attained or not. just as those who drink water know whether it is hot or cold. Because monks come from the midst of purity, they consider as good and pure what does not arouse desire among other people. Do not arouse disdainful mind when you prepare a broth of wild grasses. Do not arouse joyful mind when you prepare a fine cream soup. Since it is the practice of enlightenment that practice has no beginning, and since it is enlightenment within the practice that realization has no end. If you only have wild grasses with which to make a broth, do not disdain them. Diligently apply yourself, and whatever arises as just for a while. The ancients thought it shameful to seek advancement, or want to be the head of something, or the chief or senior. A fool sees himself as another, but a wise man sees others as himself. In a mind clear as still water, even the waves breaking are reflecting its light. To escape from the world means that one's mind is not concerned with the opinions of the world. No matter how bad a state of mind you may get into, if you keep strong and hold out, eventually the floating clouds must vanish and the withering wind must cease. I haven't got any Buddhism. I live by letting things happen. When you find your place where you are, practice occurs, actualizing the fundamental point. Let your heart go out and abide in things. Let things return and abide in your heart. In a snowfall that covers the winter grass, a white heron uses his own whiteness to disappear. Those who see worldly life as an obstacle to Dharma see no Dharma in everyday actions. They have not yet discovered that there are no everyday actions outside of Dharma. People like what is not true, and they don't like what is true. No matter how compelling or beautiful they may be, words appeal in the main to the linear, thinking mind that thinks in words. A Zen master's life is one continuous mistake. Truth is not far away. It is nearer than near. Working with plants, trees, fences, and walls, if they practice sincerely, they will attain enlightenment. You should study not only that you become a mother when your child is born, but also that you become a child. To escape from the world means that one's mind is not concerned with the opinions of the world. What you think in your own mind to be good, or what people of the world think is good, is not necessarily good. If he cannot stop the mind that seeks after fame and profit, he will spend his life without finding peace. When other sects speak well of Zen, the first thing that they praise is its poverty. There are thousands upon thousands of students who have practiced meditation and obtained its fruits. Do not doubt its possibilities because of the simplicity of the method. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? When you paint spring, do not paint willows, plums, peaches, or apricots, but just paint spring. To paint willows, plums, peaches, or apricots is to paint willows, plums, peaches, or apricots. It is not yet painting spring. When mountains and waters are painted, blue, green, and red paints are used, strange rocks and wondrous stones are used, the 4 jewels and the 7 treasures are used. Rice cakes are painted in the same manner. When a person is painted, the 4 great elements and 5 skandhas are used.